see this?" The two assailants were both wearing masks. Sam squirmed as the man held his arm, his fingers completely encircling Sam's forearm, his grip so strong Sam feared he would snap the bone in two. But that wasn't at the forefront of his mind. What caught Sam's attention was the blue flame coming from the blowtorch held by the second assailant. Sam's eyes were filled with sand, but something primeval made him begin to struggle. His other senses had taken over, and he bucked and shook, accessing never previously used sources of strength to try to shake off his captors. His skin prickled with sweat, and the smell of heated metal drifted towards him before the man clamped down on his arm, and a pain he had never known before engulfed every sense in his body. Sam didn't fall unconscious immediately. He felt paralyzed as the weight of the man was lifted from his body, the smell of burning metal replaced by the stench of burning flesh. Chapter 2. At times like these, the decision to move in with her parents felt like a blessed decision for DI Louise Blackwell. She had the upper floor of the house in Sand Bay to herself, as well as a private entrance. But this morning she had decided to unlock the door to the adjoining staircase. She wanted to see her niece, Emily, before heading to work. Opening the door, however, it wasn't Emily who greeted her, but the new family puppy, Molly, who jumped up and managed to scratch Louise's leg by way of greeting. "Hello to you too," said Louise. Louise loved the dog, but was thankful it lived downstairs with her parents and Emily. She'd read that Labrador puppies could be a handful, but it had soon become apparent that was an understatement. The dog needed constant attention, and more than once she'd been woken in the middle of the night by the sound of her father opening the garden door to let the puppy loose. "Mum not up yet?" said Louise, grabbing a piece of toast from the center of the kitchen table before kissing Emily on the forehead. Her dad shook his head, and it took all of Louise's willpower not to check the recycling for evidence of last night's crimes. As a family, they'd endured so much over the last few years. They were still coming to terms with the brutal murder of Emily's father and Louise's brother, Paul. Her mother was usually an early riser, and there were only two possible reasons for her to be in bed now. She was ill or hungover. "I'll wake her up in a minute," said her father, exchanging a knowing look with Louise. She sighed, deciding now wasn't the right time for a discussion about her mother's drinking. It always reminded her of Paul's descent into alcoholism, and that was something she didn't want to face. "What do you guys have planned for today?" "Beach," said Emily, bits of toast falling from her mouth. "I'm very envious," said Louise, kissing Emily once more and leaving before it became too hard to drag herself away. Another positive of the move from her old bungalow in Whirl was that the new journey into work took in a drive next to the sea. Working out of the purpose-built offices in Whirl, sometimes it was easy to forget she was living on the coast. The drives to and from work gave her a connection to the town. The water was in this morning, the surface glass-like as it shifted beneath the early August sunshine. As she headed away from the seafront, Louise was once again envious of the freedom her parents and Emily would enjoy that day. The feeling intensified as she remembered her day's itinerary, which included an interdepartmental meeting with the station's new uniformed inspector, Dan Baker. She took Locking Road towards Whirl, preferring the route through the town rather than the bypass. She enjoyed the tranquility of the route, the way the area felt almost untouched since her childhood years, when she'd visited the town on summer day trips full of excitement and promise, sitting in the back of the car with her brother, willing the miles away until they were by the beach and everything Weston had to offer. The sight of the black Skoda Kodiaq in her rearview mirror interrupted her reminiscing. It was 4 cars behind.